Severin Films continues to impress me by consistently spanning the globe, finding these films that I've never heard of from all over the world that are just really fun and really interesting. And they do amazing transfers and extras and really nice packaging. And this is no exception. This is from 1977, A Dog Called Vengeance. On-screen title, The Dog. This is from director Antonio Isasi with Jason Miller. Jason Miller from The Exorcist and briefly Exorcist 3, writer of that championship season, and Lee Massari. It is available with English audio or Spanish audio. It is English subtitles for the Spanish version or English SDH for the English version. I started with the Spanish track, and then I noticed a lot of the lips weren't matching, and I flipped over to English. It seems like most of the cast spoke English on set. Even though this is MOS, this was shot silent and dubbed later, most of the cast seemed to be speaking English, and Jason Miller dubs himself, so I figured that the English track was the better one to go with on this. And the story goes a little something like this. Jason Miller plays a political prisoner in this Spanish jail somewhere in the Spanish or South American jail somewhere, gigantic in prison hall that they all keep them in, but it's just like a brutal political prisoner situation. He somehow manages to escape. While doing so, a guy who's like a bounty hunter or a tracker who has a dog that we see in the beginning of the film hunting down and just mauling a guy. Miller, I'm not going to give anything away here. I'm not going to tell you the whole story. Miller manages to overpower and kill the guy and then take off. The dog sees this, and the dog swears dog canine vengeance. And the rest of the movie is Miller trying to brave the rugged terrain and stay one step ahead of the federales looking for him, and that damn dog, who independent of said federales, is on his trail no matter where he goes. So a really fun, strong, exciting man versus nature, man versus animal kind of movie. It unfortunately kind of runs out of steam once Miller gets to civilization and hooks back up with the revolutionaries that he's planning, whatever he's planning with. And then I'm kind of like, where'd the dog go? Eventually the dog comes back, and there's a tearful reunion toward the end of the film. But again, I'm not going to tell you how it all goes. So really interesting movie. Really interesting to see Jason Miller in a foreign film, as it were, that I'd never heard of before. If you are a fan of Jason Miller, if you were ever, let's say, attracted to Jason Miller and were like, what does that man's buttocks look like? Well, you can find that out. Jason Miller is like totally naked a couple times in the movie, which is just something I never thought I'd see. So thank you, Severin Films, for giving the world back Jason Miller in the Altogether. The dog in this movie is like the Terminator. It is funny, like the dog gets injured, keeps going. The dog goes over hither and dither and mountain and dale and fords mighty rivers and keeps going. It is a dog with an agenda, and it is a dog on a mission. And wow, if you like dogs, I guess I would say watch this movie. Maybe I think there's a little dog violencia, as in violencia against dogs in this film. So you may go one way or the other. Very reminiscent of The Naked Prey. If you've ever seen that, excellent film with Cornel Wilde, and a movie called Trapped, which I wish would get a re-release on Blu-ray by somebody. It was a TV movie from the early 70s with Barbara Streisand's husband, James Brolin, as a guy who gets trapped in a department store overnight. And this department store's security system is to basically release killer dogs around the department store to just maul anybody who happens to trespass. And he happens to be there, and it doesn't go so well for him and or the dog. So that's well worth checking out. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about A Dog of Vengeance. So the bonus tracks here. This isn't an album. The bonus features here are, we have a film ahead of its time, an appreciation by Angel Sala, head of programming at the Sitges Film Festival. That's 14 minutes. We get Memories of a Gorilla Woman. And I don't mean like, I mean, she might do that if she wants to. I mean, not like a woman in a gorilla suit, but a woman who was a gorilla freedom fighter. That is actress Marisa Paredes. That's 21 minutes. Daughter of Titans. An interview with Maria Isasi, daughter of director Antonio Isasi, who made this film, and actress Marisa Paredes, who we just heard from. That's 13 minutes. And then we get a 2-minute trailer. The interesting packaging. I like the cover art. Focus. A Dog Called Vengeance. And just nothing too fancy on the thing there. So very good film. Up to a point, and then it kind of falls apart, but still overall, I would say a very good film. Very interesting film, and again, really good double feature with The Naked Prey or Trapped, if you can find it. This is 1977's A Dog Called Vengeance from 1977, which I already said. from Severin Films, which I also already said.